Now at 7:30, we are tracking conditions, what they look like on the roads this morning. After a night of rain, roads may be slick. We're live all morning long to get you out the door.
And we are tracking both snow and rain as the tail end of this weather system will slowly come to an end during the morning hours, but it's far from the only weather system we're tracking heading into the weekend.
And we're taking a look back at the most popular Google searches of 2020. Some of them are connected to our biggest local stories of the year.
Up with KREM begins now.
Wire transfers for the $600 stimulus checks began on Tuesday, and paper checks started getting mailed out on Wednesday. This morning, we want to know if you've received your $600 stimulus money yet. You can vote right now in our live Twitter poll. Here's a look at the results. 93% of people saying they're still waiting. Meanwhile, 7% of people saying they've already received their money. You can text us your response at 509-448-2000 as well. Well, welcome back to Up with KREM on your Thursday morning, and let us say a happy New Year's Eve to you. We are still seeing some snow in our area this morning, but it will turn into a rain-snow mix a little bit later. So Nicole Hernandez is tracking road conditions right now, so you know what to expect if you're heading out the door. Nicole, what's it like where you're at right now?
Yeah, that's right, Tim. So right now we are about to turn on to spray here, and it's really going to be hit or miss for you getting out of the house and to wherever you're headed as to what you're going to encounter. For sure, any of those unplowed roads are going to give you the most trouble this morning. Those unplowed roads are very covered in snow, of course, still, and now turning into slush as well because of that rain on top of the snow. So very slippery, very slick. You have a lot of trouble gaining traction, and then on top of that, though, making the transition from that slush and that slippery into a normal main road is going to be difficult as well. You can see these main roads are looking much better. They're mainly just wet at this point, but we are still hitting patches of slush even on these main roads. So you want to be extra careful. Don't drive like normal just because as you're turning onto like we're going to do right now. We're going to turn onto the side road. You can see we're going to hit a good amount of slush here. So even just going into some turning lanes, you're hitting some of that slippery road conditions. So be nice and careful, give yourself time, still leave that distance between you and other cars, because if you hit that slippery patch, it can cause you some trouble. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
That is a perfect example of the difference between those main roads and the arterials and the side streets that just weren't touched yesterday, and they still have a lot of snow on them, even though they are starting to melt away pretty quickly. We did stay above freezing all night long, but we got 8 inches of snow out at Spokane's airport. 8.1 officially, which broke the old daily record of 5.4 inches. That was way back in 1990, exactly 30 years ago, the year I was born, actually. So it must have been very, very snowy that day, but even snowier as of yesterday. What a beautiful picture at downtown. Notice how the trees have shaken off all that snow because of the rain and the mild, I should say, above 32-degree temperatures this morning. Love to see the green, but actually there's a little bit of orange. Might be some leftover leaves on a few of those trees at Riverfront Park. The rain helping to clear out those the tree snow, I should say, but it also is helping keeping those road conditions wet as opposed to icy, and that's a big difference from what we saw yesterday when that initial round of snow just immediately stuck to the roads and we saw plenty of slide off. So very much better, but it is not perfect. Again, those side streets and areas where it is still snowing, like up in Rathdrum, Spirit Lake, and up towards Sandpoint, Newport as well, Priest River, you're still seeing snow as of this hour, so we're not quite finished in areas to the north and to the east of Spokane. Temperatures at 32 in Coeur d'Alene and 30 in Sandpoint, so you are below the freezing mark. So yes, there will still be some icy roads out there for parts of the inland northwest. But I'm tracking how much longer that snow and rain is going to last today and what conditions will be like as we ring in the new year with some fireworks celebrations later on tonight.
All right, Thomas, thanks so much. And if you're wondering when plows are coming to your area, you can track its progress live. Take a look at your screen. This is a map of the snow removal progress in Spokane as of early this morning. If you see any green lines, that means it's complete. Purple, which is the majority of the map, means working or being monitored, and red means it's up next. The city did say that hills and bridges are a priority. You can check how plows are doing right now by going to myspokanecity.org, then scroll down, then click on snow info. You can even click on an entire neighborhood to see. This map is only activated during full city plows like we're in today. You can also go to cdaid.org/snow for a similar map of Coeur d'Alene's plow schedule. Meanwhile, Avista is reporting outages this morning. You can see some smaller outages spread out across our area. You can see a couple of bigger outages in the St. Mary's area, as well as just under 800 people are without power there. And about 200 people in the Sherman area are without power. Crews are still determining what the cause is of these outages. There's also some outages on the Coeur d'Alene Reservation and here in Spokane. Well, here's a live lookout pass this morning. So far, we're not seeing any closures from the snow. This is your reminder, though, that if you travel on a pass this time of year, you should expect some delays, especially on a snowy day like today. If you do decide to drive on a pass, remember to stay slow and watch for slippery conditions. Here are 3 things you need to know about the coronavirus in our area this morning. Number 1, the Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 8 more COVID-19 related deaths today. That brings the total number of COVID deaths in the county up to 365. This comes as the district also reports 146 new cases on Wednesday, bringing the total number of cases up to 25,945. 65 Spokane County residents are currently hospitalized with coronavirus. Moving over to North Idaho now, public health officials are reporting 253 new cases today. So far, Idaho's 5 northern counties have seen 16,268 total cases of COVID-19. No new COVID deaths were reported in North Idaho today. 166 people died from the coronavirus so far. Currently, 86 people are hospitalized with COVID-19 in North Idaho. Nearly 150 employees at a Costco in Yakima County have coronavirus. So here's what we know right now. 145 staff members tested positive and they are in quarantine right now. Health officials say the sharp increase in cases mimics activity that happens after a super spreader event. Costco is continuing to provide site-wide testing for its employees. The Yakima Health District said it is not requiring any business to close due to coronavirus infections. Well, Washington State began coronavirus vaccinations for some prison workers and inmates. That includes Airway Heights Correctional Center. Since November the 30th, the facility that reported more than 1,400 cases. Department staff working at the Coyote Ridge Correction Center in Connell, Washington are also receiving vaccines. The vaccine is being distributed in the Sage East unit, which includes 40 geriatric inmates with chronic health needs. The new strain of COVID-19 has been found in a second state. Dr. Anthony Fauci told California Governor Gavin Newsom it wasn't surprising given the variant's more contagious nature.
Identified in Colorado yesterday has been identified here in the state of California.
There's no indication at all that it increases the virulence, and by virulence I mean the ability to make you sick or kill you.
But with California's ICUs already at a breaking point, officials say the usual precautions are still a must. Health experts believe the current vaccines will be effective against the new strain, but federal officials acknowledge the vaccine's rollout needs to improve. Well, it's been a while, but this sound might sound familiar. Coming up at 8:30, we talk to the Spokane Symphony about their New Year's concert and how you can attend virtually.
And we're still tracking just a little bit more snow and a little bit more rain before the final day. New Year's Eve is through, but there will be plenty more weather systems on those first few days of the new year. Your complete forecast is coming up next on Up with KREM.
And there is a crisis beyond COVID-19 that plagues thousands of people in the inland Northwest. While businesses shut down, schools closed, and news of the virus spread, need for food doubled, sometimes tripled this past year. As lines at food markets grew, the community came together to make a difference, to make a meal.
It was really a touching event for everyone. It was a Thanksgiving miracle.
KREM 2 tells the story of Tom's Turkey Drive during a worldwide pandemic and talks about the fight to feed a community, celebrating Second Harvest, the National Guard, and all the people who gave this holiday season. Join us for a KREM 2 special New Year's Day at 4 p.m. And we want to see your snow pictures from this week. Here's a snapshot of our record-breaking snowfall on Wednesday. Text us your pictures at 509-448-2000. You could see them here on Up with KREM.